It actually has to do with your proposal for the.
Oh, yes, I saw that. Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I added that on because I'd forgotten. Ebenezer, have Joanne Hamilton on the call on the attendee list, if you can promote her. Richard emailed me that he was going to be a little bit late because he's attending a colleague's funeral. So.
Hmm. Denise, are there two people that need to be promoted now? Because it says 11 participants.
Yes, I will do that now.
He's working on it, yeah.
On Facebook. Hold on one second.
Miriam James is still part of our committee, public member.
I was hoping to get on a couple minutes early. Hi, Tanisha. To ask question, I was going to, try to call.
I think Mary, I'm sorry, but I think she's the lady with the Diamond House Senior Center. Mary,
I'm sorry.
no, Rabbi asked about Marian James.
Yeah, is she
Yeah,
supposed to be here?
Yeah, but the point is that I keep having people added to my committee and then they're not really members of the committee. So I don't know, Ebenezer, if you know of an updated list, because Marion James and Cindy Matos were the latest, people that I was given as new members of the committee. Hi, James.
Well, they have to either agree because according to their schedule, maybe they know they cannot do it, or they have to
they were both
chair.
people who were on the committee before and they couldn't do what they did. They never
right.
Cindy Matos had never come to the committee, and I pointed that out to Ebenezer, to Eleazar and Miriam James. I asked if both of them, about both of them, because they were taken off the committee before because they couldn't make the meetings. Anything on that, Ebenezer?
Yes, I'm looking for the latest assignment. I thought I have it here. Let me open again.
Okay.
Committee.
All right, we'll just wait for this answer from Ebenezer and then we'll start the meeting.
Okay, the member of your committees are the following: Mary Anderson, Chair; Rabbi Joseph Kalinsky, Assistant Chair; Richard Allman; James Bosley; Maria Luna; Marian James; Cindy Matos; Carol Wicks, a public member.
Dory Garcia I had emailed that Dory Garcia is a public member also.
Correct.
I don't have it here.
She was
Who sent you
appointed
that
a while
email?
ago.
Well, maybe because Richard Allman, you know, they work together on the on ARC. So maybe, you know.
Yeah, but she
both
was appointed, she applied and was appointed as a public member by Eleazar.
Mhm.
Okay, let me follow up. Do you remember when?
Hey,
I think it was back in around May,
Thank
April,
you.
May.
yeah. So Joseph, to answer your question, that we have to mark them absent, that's all, until I, get some kind of an official.
Well, I don't think
Okay.
you should do that unless she agrees to officially, because maybe she was invited to join and she agreed, but as of when, because she just started taking over Doris Garcia.
Who? No,
I
I'm not
said-
talking about Dory.
Ah,
Dory is officially a public
Okay.
member. I'm not talking about marking her absent.
uh-huh.
I'm talking about Cindy Matos and Miriam James, who supposedly were appointed to this committee, because, at the beginning in September, we also had another new board member that was appointed to our committee, but didn't come on, but then he was officially removed from the committee and moved to another committee. But these two, I don't know. Anyway, it is now 10:42 a.m. Calling this meeting to order. Welcome, everybody. Let's do introductions to start with. I'm Mary Anderson. I'm the chair of this committee. Ebenezer, would you introduce yourself, please?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ebenezer Smith. I am the district manager of Community Board 12 Manhattan.
Thank you, Maria.
Oh, good morning, Maria Luna, member of the committee, also Youth Services Committee. I've been a member of the board since 1981.
Joseph?
I'm happy Maria went before me. It was age and beauty that went first. Joseph Kalinsky, I'm the assistant chair of the committee, and I also work at Yeshiva University.
Dory?
Good morning, everyone. Dory Garcia, Executive Director, ARC 16 for Washington, Inc., Treasurer of WICOA, and a public member of this committee.
Thank you. Is it Tanisha? Tanisha, yes.
Morning, everyone. I'm Tanisha Rodriguez, Chief Program Officer for Neighborhood Shop. I had taken part of the meeting last month, but we're just looking forward to serving Manhattan 12 in the start of the new year with our Elder Justice Program. So thank you for having us.
Ashley?
Good morning, everyone. Ashley Carlos from Neighborhood Shop, specifically the Elder Justice Program. I am a social worker and outreach worker as well.
Thank you for joining. Diane?
Good morning, everyone. I'm Diane Ashley. I'm Chief Marketing Communications Officer for MJHS Health System, and I am here representing Isabella and all of the work of MJHS in the community.
Thank you. James, I'm sorry, I skipped over you for some reason. Go ahead. You have to unmute yourself, James.
It's,
Okay, there you go.
okay, sorry, wasn't unmuting for some reason. James Bosley, I'm a new member of the board and also a new member of this committee. I'm also a new member of the Land Use Committee. We met last night. I'm a founder of Up Theater Company. I've lived in Inwood for the last 20-something years. Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Thank you. Okay. Liliette.
Good morning, everyone. Liliet Lopez, NICONNEX Outreach Specialist. We connect people with any disability, any age, to services and resources.
Juanit, I hope that's the correct pronunciation.
Hi, yes, Juani Rodriguez. I am the COVID Community Engagement Coordinator for the East Harlem Health Action Center.
Could you just repeat that?
Yes,
are-
I am the COVID Community Engagement Coordinator,
For the East Harlem
Health Action Center.
Health Action Center. Okay, thank you. Thank you for joining. Ebenezer, any luck with promoting? Oh, you did. Okay, I'm sorry. Joanne,
Yes,
just tell us who you are and where you're from.
my name is Joanne Hamilton. I'm from Inwood, Fort George Hill Building. And I was given this webinar address by Miriam Colon of the NORC Project. And I was interested in some of the things that have been going on in the community. Basically the bus
Okay,
change.
and we're gonna get into that issue
Right.
in a little bit. Okay, thank you for coming in, Joanne. Nice to have you on board.
Thank you very much.
Okay. All right, so the next thing I have, I added actually to the agenda. I did not send it out because I realized I had forgotten to put it in, but realized it actually sometime last evening. So I said, you know what, let me just put it on, my copy so that I can bring it up. Discussion about requesting to continue virtual meetings for the Aging Committee. I've brought it up in various other meetings, including the executive board meeting of the community board. Joseph, maybe you can just summarize what you had proposed
Yeah, I don't
Right.
have the exact language in front
and
of
the
me.
reason why.
Sure. I don't have the exact language in front of me. I could try to bring it up, but what we discussed, I think, towards the end of the last meeting, wanted to bring more towards the executive committee, the board, and/or our elected officials, is while all community board meetings currently for the last few years have been meeting remotely, and there's a desire to bring them back to in-person, hybrid, whatever it ends up being in the near future, which, thankfully, that's a good thing. We'll be able to meet in person, not opposed to meetings in person. But perhaps particularly our committee and the makeup of the members who come to these meetings being the time of day when people are at work, and being able to engage those that are connected to the senior centers in our community. It's really much more efficient for us to be able to continue on this fashion to get the work done that needs to get done, and being able to ask for perhaps a variance for our committee to be able to continue doing its work in this modality. Maybe we need to ask for a year at a time, 6 months at a time. I don't know how exactly to do it, but I just can't imagine what would happen if we went back in person. How many we know how the numbers have increased in terms of our participation, our ability, to continue to engage with seniors and senior centers and be able to Zoom rooms in. We haven't engaged that too deeply, but that's something that we would be able to possibly do now if we can stay with this modality. So that's what it was suggested. between now and the last 4 weeks, Mary, has there, what can you catch us up in terms of what has been further discussed beyond the conversation here?
What has been said to me is that the hybrid meeting is kind of a fait accompli, that there doesn't seem to be anything that will change that. I mean, the only thing that keeps changing is when it's going to start, because we've gotten another extension to November 21st from the mayor's office. So I think, as a committee, the discussion was had and we voted on, on sending something to the borough president. There were other discussions among some of the committee members subsequently about wondering if this should be a reso item, or if it's coming from the committee, or if it's supposed to come from the board. Doesn't sound like it's anything that would come from the board as a whole. I think if we want to send something out, we can do that. There were suggestions that we send it to the chair of the board, Eleazar Bueno, to the mayor, to the borough president's office, and even possibly to Gail Brewer, who was the former borough president and continues to be a very influential person, even for us here up in Washington Heights, because she's certainly was behind us for everything.
Right. Actually, I found the language that I put together after last meeting. I can read it quickly. It says, "Dear Mark, as our borough president and former member of CB12, we're reaching out to you with the following request. In light of the amendment to the current rules and requirement to move all community board meetings to hybrid starting in November," that's not true anymore, but we'd like to ask for an exception for the Committee of the Aging of CB12. Historically, our committee meets on Thursday mornings at 10:30 in the morning. This time is coordinated with many senior centers, executive directors who regularly join our meetings, and seniors who visit the centers, the population we're most interested in hearing from and reaching out to, as their lunch is typically scheduled at 12 p.m. When meetings were in person, we often had little representation from the public. A typical workday isn't ideal for people to leave their desks and travel to the board office. As we transitioned to virtual Zoom meetings a few years ago, we saw a significant rise in our numbers of attendees, both executive directors and the seniors themselves. We've built a community of regular attendees, and it continues to grow. Further, we've had the opportunity to bring in amazing presenters on a whole list of topics relevant to our senior population. I took a picture of the last meeting, one of the presentations. As such, we advocate the Committee of the Aging to be allowed to continue our meetings virtually for the foreseeable future and not hybrid. True hybrid would only require board members to appear in person and not members of the public, but our experience has shown that technology and participation is much more complicated in a hybrid setting than fully online. So just explain what that last line means for those. Even if we do move to hybrid, what it would mean is that the board members would have to come to the board office, and then we would still be able to have, virtually everybody else come join us. My experience as an educator is that it's just a cumbersome setup when you have some people in a room and some people on Zoom. It should either be everyone in the room or everyone on Zoom. So that's that proposal. Any other thoughts?
Of course, they keep telling me it's easy to do, but I can't imagine that it's easy when you've got a group here and a group here,
Easy doesn't mean good.
Right.
Right.
And also, I mean, somebody like you, coming from your job.
Yeah,
I mean,
again, but that's
you're a committee member. You would
Yeah.
have to be there and,
Yeah.
it's difficult for you. I know that.
So Ebenezer, have you heard this from any other committees? Is it just us asking for this variance? Are you here, Ebenezer?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm listening to you. Yes, this is the first committee requesting this. This is the first committee. The other committees, they say, when we're gonna meet together, when gonna be hybrid, when gonna be, but this committee is the one that really requesting this for the first time.
I think it's, because, it's.
I would
natural for us to do that.
I would also add with, numbers still out there for COVID, this group, and I probably should put that in the request as well. This group is more hesitant to come out to the board. And historically also it's going to get cold, all these other things. It's just not going to be, that's why we're asking for the variance, specifically our committee. So.
And may I say something also? I think that the makeup of the attendance to the committee is what brings the information and how the information that we can provide to the general public, to the seniors is extremely important. If we take a look at how many members are in our committees that are able to attend in person, I think it's going to diminish. A lot of people are not going to be able to attend all the meetings, and that is going to, impact on the services that we are providing, the information, which is really information to most of the senior centers directors that are members of the public members of our committee that are, channeling what the city is giving us. And I think that that has to be a point that we need to enforce. Of course, they are going to, probably try to ignore our recommendation, but in the long run, I would rather have most of the people attending as we are, that are going live on on a community board office, that 5 people will show up. And I think for people who do presentations to our committee, it's really important that they do it during the day and not in the, in the evening, if we, or anytime. I think it's we can continue pressing that, but, we'll have to be, the hybrid thing is really inconvenience. So that's my suggestion. We should keep trying.
Any other opinions from the committee members? Comments? Anything from anyone else?
I think the committee is all in favor. I don't think anybody, I haven't heard any opposing views on this.
Okay, so let's just go for it then. There was one suggestion though, Joseph, that maybe you could condense that just a bit. You're muted.
Yeah, sure. It has to be written as a reso also, with the regular whereases and all that stuff.
Do we want to do it as a letter or as a reso?
Oh, you're saying as a letter? Well,
I mean,
again, my understanding
as a letter.
My understanding is activities and opinions of community boards, committees are done as through resolutions. Maria, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but that's my understanding of how things, that's how we get things, that's how we make our voices heard. We don't write letters, we write resos. Is that correct, Marina, or this is a place for a letter?
The resolution, have to go to the general board.
Right.
From the general board goes to the city council. God only knows what they're going to do there, because they're going to have to deal with all the community boards, in the city. So
as opposed to a letter, we just send a letter.
Correct. So,
but it could be we'll send a letter and then they'll say write a resolution.
I don't think.
You don't think so?
Probably
Okay.
not. Probably not.
Fine. So I will try to send a draft to the committee members, and then we could figure out what the best way is to send the letter and to who. It's just to Mark, we're saying right now?
And also, let me just tell you, not all community boards have aging committees. Okay, they are part of the health committee. They usually they have like a task force type of
Right.
system. So this is unique. We started, I think we started after the community board 9, who have an aging committee during the day, and that's where I copied that from in 1987 or something like that. But I mean, we need to focus on the participants, and what we are really doing within our committee that is really important. So I think we need to focus, let them understand. It's not that we want to do it from home or something like that. Everybody has a job to do. Most of the people who comes to to our committee to serve in our committee is I just cannot see people from other CBOs attending a live meeting as opposed to doing it from their office. So let's keep trying. A letter, I think we should continue doing it by letter.
Okay.
Okay, and I think that's what was, agreed upon at our last meeting, that it would be in terms of a letter. So I guess what we need to do then is send it to Mark and CC it to Eleazar.
Okay. I'll send it around first.
Okay. Very good. Thank you for your work on this, yes,
Mhm.
appreciate it. All right, Ebenezer, can you try to promote Rosie Bernard, please? Thank you. Hi, Rosie. Good morning, Rosie. Can't hear you. Now we can see you. All right. All right, so the next thing I wanted to discuss, which was an add-on, because I had gotten a text from Miriam Cologne last evening or late yesterday about the seniors up in the Fort George Hill area being upset because of a bus stop being eliminated up there. And Joanne Hamilton is here from the Vista Snork to talk about that. Joanne, if you could unmute yourself and come on and tell us what the issue is, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, a lot of the seniors, in particular, the two buildings located on the hill and the one that goes down Fairview Avenue, have all been complaining about the number 3 bus no longer stopping at 193rd Street and St. Nicholas Avenue, where they can just traverse the hill. Now stops at 189th Street, which gives them 4 more blocks extra to walk. May not sound like a lot, but some of the seniors, it's a lot to them, and then have to work with the hill. Anybody who knows Fort George Hill knows it's quite a trek. But at any rate, we were all told to call.
And that's, Joanne, I'm sorry, just to clarify, that's the downtown stop, right?
It's the, no, it's the uptown stop. The uptown stop is 193rd and St. Nicholas Avenue. The downtown stop is 192nd, 190th, something like that. I myself am not a bus rider, so to speak, because I do drive, but having been on the board for like 14 years here, 17, a lot of the seniors have, come to me when they see me talking about this, because I wasn't aware that it no longer stopped there at 193rd. And we do have a bus driver on my floor in the building, 17, who gave me an explanation, but it's not his route of why. And it had something to do with a barrier that was put up on Fort George Avenue to stop the motorcyclists at night riding up and down there and making that a horrendous thoroughfare for noise and whatever else. And that the buses can no longer make a U-turn when they stop, the last stop, 193rd, they continue on to Fort George Avenue.
Right.
And they can't make the U to come and turn to stop there where they change bus drivers or whatever else it is they do before that bus moves out again to head south. So that is becoming a big issue, in calling 511, which is posted all over for everybody to call and voice their complaint about this, is, as you know, a lot of these, you got to press this button, press that button, and you really don't get anything doing that. So, you know, I said that Miriam, like I said, Cologne gave me this webinar site, and I said I would tune in and see, you know, if anybody had any more information. So now the bus turns at, they let you off at 189th, it turns at 190th Street, heading east, and then they can go a little further, heading back south in order to make the U-turn and do the usual park along the park side on Fort George Avenue. So it's, you know, nobody's given an explanation. You call 511, they just say, oh yeah, that's what's happening. But as to the concrete reason of why, we have no clue.
You typically, to be honest, I'm not sure if I caught all the street corners, but typically we usually bring these to the Traffic and Transportation Committee. They're the ones who directly have conversations and representation from the MTA and you know, those who actually implement, you know, some of these decisions.
Which is what I said to Miriam Cologne, is that, you know, we'd also, you know, want people to come to the Traffic and Transportation Committee, which meets actually Monday evening, Joanne. I told Miriam I would send the link to that meeting because I'm on that committee also Joseph is.
Which bus route is this? So what's the bus route? I could put it for our notes though.
M3.
It's the M3.
The M3.
Yeah.
Mhm.
See, I haven't kept up with that area. I used to be at Isabella all the time, and now I'm not. So it's, you know, I've lost track. I know that the downtown stop was an issue for a while, that the buses weren't letting people on the bus at that stop. But I don't know if that's gotten resolved completely or not. But this is another issue that I was not aware of. So, and I thought that coming to this committee would help others on the committee to understand, you know, what the issues, some of the issues are with the bus routes being changed, you know, the bus stops being changed, because there are other issues along Broadway too, which I've brought up at the Traffic and Transportation Committee. So, you know, but, you know, an issue especially for seniors. So is the issue on Broadway. So I thought that, you know, this aging committee should be aware of that. If not, you know,
so the Transportation Committee meets every Monday, or?
No, the first Monday of the month.
First Monday of the month. Okay.
Yeah. And I'll send that link to Miriam, and then she'll pass it on to you, Joanne. Hopefully it'll be this coming Monday.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Joanne? But if you, like Joanne said, if you know that area at all, it's a steep hill.
Yes, you could come up the hill from Dyson, which is steeper.
No matter which way you go, whether it's going up that hill or down that hill. Fort George Hill and on Fairview. They're both very hilly areas. And for the seniors to trek up there, or tracked down there, either way. It's
And it was
it's
a-
a
it was a
serious
complete-
issue.
Right, it was complete surprise when the bus driver hollered out some of the seniors, as they told me, last stop, and it was a complete surprise. And some walk with a cane, et cetera, and they have a wheelchair, whatever. And that is it's a really big issue, because a lot of people have to ride that bus who come this way. So it's a big issue.
The safety issue also,
Sure,
it really
yes.
is.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
I also believe that that's the only bus, because the 101 turns on Amsterdam Avenue. So it doesn't.
The 101, you can get on the 101 at 91st Street, and then at 190th Street, it turns, it makes a left turn there, and it traverses Amsterdam Avenue. And and that bus comes to 190th Street if you want to take that, but then you have to walk a slight incline past Isabella, and then walk the remainder of the way, which is at least flat, to get to 193rd Street. The number 3 bus was the only bus that came this far north. So it just is a hassle.
But I think you did the right thing coming to our committee first, because I know that the transportation committee, which I attend, they bombarded with the issue of transportation, especially in the upper, in our community ward 12, all the changes, the bikes changes, and God only knows everything, that move, especially on the upper area, 184th Street, changing, bus, that comes to the Bronx and things like that. So referring you to the transportation committee and having our saying, because I think that it impacts dearly in our senior community. We're saying they will pay a little more attention to our, to the complaints on the people in that area. So I think that I'm happy to hear from you your concern, because it's it's impacting everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah. So thank you, and I hope that I wish you luck, because with the transportation commissioner and everything that we have here, they are focusing more on other issues that are on the well-being of the common travelers, which are the ones that support the system.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
Okay, thank you, Joanne.
Thank you.
So as I said, I'll send you the link for the Traffic and Transportation Committee through Miriam, and I hope to see you there on Monday evening.
Monday evening, at what time does it start?
Starts at 7.
7 o'clock. Okay, doke.
And it's virtual. The Zoom meeting. Maybe you can get a couple other people to join you.
I certainly will try.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
being
right.
that it's on virtual also, it
Yeah.
helps a lot. Yes.
Right. Okay, cool. And you know what? You all can join the aging committee too. We meet on the first Thursday of every month.
Okay.
And Miriam has the link. As I send that to her, so, okay, great.
Thank you so
Okay,
much.
let us move the agenda. Carol, hi, Carol Weeks. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I
Good.
had an emergency, but my heart is with you. I'm here.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Carol Weeks is the other public member on our committee. All right. I had down having an open discussion. I want to apologize for not having a presenter at for this meeting. However, presentation, I had some personal issues going on between my elbow surgery, which is not fully healed yet, all kinds of things. I just couldn't get it together. So, but we've certainly got a healthy agenda.
Such a good job.
Anyway.
We hope you feel better. Stuff happens. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you, Carol. So I wanted to have an open discussion, ideas for presentations at future meetings, and how we can encourage community seniors to join virtual committee meetings, which is something I just mentioned to Joanne Hamilton, because she's in the community, in the Vista Snork, and hopefully we can get some other members to join these meetings. Joanne will be our spokesperson. So I'm gonna open it up. Let me open this up to the committee members.
Yeah.
Maria, go
May I
ahead.
say something, Mary, since I'm probably the seniors of this committee? You don't have to have a presenter every meeting. It's important, but I think that we are, the membership of our committee has so much to offer, information-wise, you know, you name it, all the senior centers are linked to our committee. They have things that are going on within their, you know, their setups and things like that. So maybe some of them will, you know, will give us information and invite the other members to, you know, to join and to participate and give them ideas, interact with each other to make the life of our seniors better, which is the intent of our committee. Bring information and education, and I am one that is I like to hear about, you know, some types that they have. Some of the centers are exhibits. They have guests from, you know, from other areas that they can, you know, invite to, you know, to participate and things like that. So it's really, don't feel bad that you know, sometimes you won't get a participant to, you know, to do a presentation, because I think we have the resources right here in this committee. We have all the resources about seniors that all the operatives in the Upper Manhattan area, that is enough to keep us aware of what's happening and also bring our concerns. So I, for one, would like to know how many trips to Atlantic City they do. I haven't heard any, or the museums and things like that. All those things are important to bring back to our, you know, our centers. So, you know, about food distributions and things like that, how they deal with some of those issues that they do in the daily basis. So, I mean, I think that you are doing a great job, and let's move, you know, don't feel bad. Don't feel mad. I think we are doing the best we can.
Okay, thank you.
I like that idea very much,
Okay.
that we could learn from each other.
Mhm.
But I've been thinking, an answer to your question, I should raise my hand. I'm sorry. I've been thinking that the Department for the Aging is trying to get more seniors back into the senior centers. And I think it would be valuable to kind of have somebody from the Department for the Aging talk with us, give us sort of a roundtable on outreach, but not only outreach. The Department for the Aging, just kind of to get an update on what their post-COVID goals are. I mean, there've been meetings, but people are asking, you know, about masks and very specific things. But if we could get an overview on, you know, their focus, their post-COVID focus and goals. So we would be well informed that we're on the same page with DFTA. Does that make sense to anybody?
Yeah,
It
Carol,
does. It definitely
Carol, I am,
does. Yeah.
Carol, this is Maria again. I was appointed by the mayor to sit on the Department for the Aging as an advisor about issues in our community. We meet every quarter. What the information that they give at our meetings are really already being distributed to all the centers. Everyone that is linked that receive funding from the Department for the Aging is, I assume that they keep you informed. Basically, we complain about what is happening in Brooklyn, Queens, and Staten Island, and things like that. Everybody has a voice there. But a specific things that you mentioned, they have said to me and to the meeting, they provide to all the senior centers as far as proposal, project, and any consideration. The commissioner is a very well-liked person, Lorraine Cortez.
Yes.
She heads that, that committee. But the Department for the Aging usually informs, or that, unless you don't, I'm just missing something. I don't know if you receive all the information that they propose, right, Carol?
Yes, I do. But they're very specific things. Like when we had our program evaluation this morning, one of the emergencies I had was getting a serial number off of a computer that's about 100 years old, to give it back for the CAP. I guess people know what a CAP is, a corrective action plan. But I was thinking more about a more global, yes, the answer to your question is definitely yes. If something they want us to do, we get an announcement on it. Like they were thinking about they exposed us to ordering food from a particular organization that works with DFTA. We get we get that information. I'm thinking in terms of more what I call global. What is their vision for the centers post-global? Post-COVID, post-COVID. What's their vision? Maybe that's not important. It's more important that we get these specific things. I understand exactly what you're saying, and the answer
All right,
is yes.
so I will do that. I will bring that question to the next meeting that is going to be in December, and says, just to clarify. I think that Bernard is supposed to come to our committee meetings from time to time. Mary?
Yes, I invite Verna each month.
Bernard Torrea, she's very
Yeah.
good. She'll give a little more detail of what our concerns are and what they are really doing, because when we go to the meeting, there's like hundreds of things happening at the same time.
Yes.
It's not an excuse, but that's the reality.
No, it isn't.
That's how the city works.
And it really, don't misunderstand me, it's not at all critical.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm
give
glad
us-
to hear that. I'm glad to hear that.
It's not a criticism, it's more like a plea, Maria.
Right.
That, sometimes, this is my thought, and tell me you've lost your mind. Sometimes we focus so much on the little basic details that are necessary that we lose the big picture. And I'm just saying, I don't want to lose the big picture. Of course, it's to help the seniors, but things have really changed since post-COVID. And we might have to be thinking a little differently, but presented as just a plea more than a criticism. Focusing on the big picture is what I'm saying. I don't know if anybody else who's listening has the same feeling. Maybe it's just me. Is Dory in today?
Yes.
I'm here, Carol. I feel what you're saying. They're very general. They want us to actually take action on our own, but they're very general when they give information, especially for masking, like you're saying. And they want us to create our own program of post-COVID. How are we actually targeting those members that haven't come back to the senior center?
right. That's definitely one of the things they'll probably bring up, definitely. But do you think there are other things, you know?
I can't hear you.
Okay, I'm saying, do you think that there are other things that, that's one thing, yes, they've been very vocal about that.
Yeah, there's a lot of things, also including with the meals. They want us to feed the seniors. Yes, we are, but then they don't give us the okay to actually give them the okay to take food home. So it's either they eat here or they won't eat, because in our contract, they don't allow us to actually do any take home meals or deliver meals.
Yeah. As I say, I think they would, maybe after your December meeting, Maria, you'll have more information and you can convey it.
Okay.
I mean, if the commissioner's coming, that maybe that's what they will focus on, more overreaching things rather
All
than
right.
the detail. I don't know. You'll
Okay,
know
no,
after the
that
meeting.
that's great. That's great. That's great. That gives me something to you know, to argue with them, because if you know so many members on that particular committee, they have different interests. There are people who are interested on those centers that are on the NYCHA buildings, the centers that are in privately owned buildings, the one that they have to raise funds for everything else aside from the whatever is allowed by DIFTA. So I think this is the importance of the conversation among ourselves here about everybody that is linked to the aging committee of Community Board 12, and also from the YCOA groups, that we can just see what are the differences and how we can improve the services that we are providing, and so on and so on. So thank you so much, Caro. I'll try to get as much as I can.
You're going to be,
Rhonda.
I guess, our next
you.
speaker. But I think it will, I think this is very, very important for us.
Correct, yeah.
Let me just check in with Shuli. Shuli, are you still with us?
Yes, I am. Hi, sorry.
Hi, so I was just wondering if you were listening to this and have anything to contribute or add, or.
I've been listening. Oh, I'm getting a call.
Okay, go ahead. Because Shuli is also the head of the directors committee, part of YCOA, and the senior center directors meet together probably quarterly. So Shuli, go ahead, Shuli.
No, is there a specific question that you want my opinion on? A specific?
Well, I just wondered if you had anything to add to what Carol and Dory have been saying in terms of your center, in terms of the directors meeting, for YCOA, whatever,
I'm sorry, now I'm having trouble hearing you as well. I had trouble hearing Carol. Say that again.
I'm sorry. Carol, adding to what Carol and Dory have talked about, and wondering if you had anything to add to what they've said, or in addition to your other role in YCOA as director of the.
Okay, I had a little bit of trouble hearing Carol in and out. I understood her concerns, and I'm totally I'm in agreement with Dory. The issue is that I think the Department for the Aging is waiting on what Dory calls asking us to create our own policies. I think that they're using us a bit as their experimental think tank, if that makes any sense. That they want us to come up with ideas, and if they like them, they'll run with them, and if they don't, they'll tell us to stop. It is frustrating because I feel like we're losing a little bit of direction from the Department for the Aging in that, like the masking policies changing from, and then hearing that that's what they were the whole time, when that's not really the case. It's frustrating. And moving forward, I just think we just have to just keep trying new things. And I don't believe that we can force people to do anything. And I think that certain ways of being in the world have changed for seniors post-COVID, and not in a way that will necessarily dial back just because COVID would be dialing back when that happens. I think that they have discovered new ways to be in the world, and they like that. And they're going to continue doing that. And we have to figure out the best ways to service them under that construct.
Okay. All right. So Maria, you've got it. But did I see a hand? Carol?
Yeah. I'm thinking I'm not, in one way, not making myself exactly clear. I understand exactly what you said, and I agree, but we have.
Carol, can you stay consistently with the microphone because you're not being heard?
I'm
continuously.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Maybe I'm not talking up.
If
You have to stay in the same place, Carol. You keep moving forward and back, and then your voice goes in and out.
Oh, okay. I'll stay. Can you hear me now? I'm going to stay in the same place. I think what you said, I think what everybody said is accurate. I just like have the Department of Employment.
Carol, we're still losing you.
I don't know. Must maybe something wrong with my thing. Okay, forget it. I'll get
stay where you are now. No, there you go. Stay like that.
Maybe it's better like this. Is it?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
So
Good.
maybe I should interact here. This is what I'm focusing in, the conversation that we all should have, and what is it that we are missing from, from the department, from the agent, the regulation that they try to, to enforce on us, and how we can counteract against those designs, because everybody's focusing on the COVID and the pre-COVID and after COVID. COVID is not going anyplace. It's still here. I don't think it's going to just disappear. And we should not let anybody focus just on the COVID issue. I think that we need to analyze what is it that is important for each group and age, because we are different groups all over, within Community Board 12. The centers operate differently and things like that. So I think that the conversation that we should have is us and then the white COA group, and try to come to some, unity, and try to then to get the Department for the Agent to hear us. We don't have to hear them. They have to hear us, because they are the ones that are responsible to keep us doing and providing the services that are necessary for our seniors. So unless we have a coalition or maybe a meet of minds from our ideas, we will always be, we will feel that something is being left out. So I think that particularly today that we didn't have a presenter, the conversation among each other, I think it's been fantastic. So let's keep it going, because it's really it is extremely important. So I'll do everything that I can, and but just remember that the Department for the Aging is dealing with the 5 counties. I mean, in everybody, you have no idea what happened in those meetings.
That's excellent. Thank you. I think can't do better than that.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Now, I know that Tanisha, you wanted to speak today. Are you still on the call?
I believe she had to, I believe she had to get off the call. She had another meeting to attend.
Oh, okay.
But if I can give a little bit of background about the Elder Justice Program that we are doing. Our focus is really to capture those older adults who don't have the resources to connect them if they are someone who has been victim of elder abuse. Our services will be put in place after January, which is why they want to do like a presentation, a more formal presentation, more on the program itself. I'm not really sure what else you are interested in knowing, but Neighborhood Shop is really based in the Bronx. This is an expansion that we have for our Elder Justice program to go into the Manhattan Community Board 12. Are there any questions that anyone might have that I can try to answer to the best of my ability?
Anybody have any questions, issues, comments? Okay, I don't see any. All right, thank you, Ashley. Any other issues that anyone wants to discuss or bring up? Going once, going twice. Any announcements?
I want to make an announcement, Mary. Just any senior that would like to have transportation to go to any voting site on November 8th or early voting, they can just give us a call to transportation. On 212-568-5030. Again, it's 212-568-5030. They'll be able to do a round trip to the voting polls.
Thank you. Just give me that number again, Dory. I'm sorry. 212.
No problem. It's 212-568-5030.
Like 5030 Broadway. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Because I'm not sure.
I also just
I
add
seem to have
something.
lost you. I seem to have lost Yosef in the crowd here. I'm not sure what happened. Anyway.
Can I also just
make sure
add
that gets in
something?
there. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to add something as well.
Certainly.
So Neighborhood Shop is partnering with Ponce Bank, and we do have a financial mastery workshop that we are hosting virtually. It is for older adults, but caregivers and professionals are welcome. It's going to be on November 10th. And the topic is how to be financially prepared for disasters. I'll send out a flyer with the link, and then as well as just an email with the link as well.
Okay.
Anyone who's interested in joining.
Can you send that to me and then I can send it out?
Definitely.
Thank you. So as I mentioned earlier, virtual meetings, we've gotten the message from the mayor that we can continue until November 21st with the virtual meetings, and then another decision will be made at that time. We just follow the direction. Anything else from anybody? Going once, going twice. Seeing no raised hands, nobody opening their mouths to speak. I would like to have a motion. Our next meeting will be December 1st at 10:30 a.m. Motion to adjourn, please. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Thank you, James. Second?
Second.
Hi, Dory. Thank you. Okay. All right. So the meeting is adjourned at 11:36 a.m. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving to all of you.
Thank you. You
And
too.
Veterans Day, and Don't forget to
Happy
vote. Don't
Turkey
forget
Day,
to vote.
yes.
Happy Thanksgiving. Bye.
Thank you. All right. Have a good holiday, everybody.